So we have the concept that is discharge potential. So we have to understand how is it different from electrochemical series, because the value of discharge potential is also in voltage. So in simple term, we can define discharge potential as a minimum electric potential which is required to cause ion to gain or lose electrons. Basically, it is the actual minimum potential. Basically, it is in voltage required to cause an ion to gain or lose electron. This is the basic definition. So why we want this? Because by gain or by loss of electron, it undergo a chemical reaction which we define as the chemical discharge. If some electrode is losing and producing chlorine gas from Cl negative, that means it is discharging Cl2 gas. So I can write actual minimum potential required to cause an ion to gain or lose electron to undergo a chemical reaction or chemical discharge. I'm writing example here. For example, Cl negative changes to Cl2, basically discharge Cl2 gas is discharged, and at which electrode this Cl2 gas is discharged, which we have already discussed, that if we have electrochemical cell, then we have a concept of LOAN. O is oxidation, A is anode, and N negative. But here, because we are using electrolytic cell, then we have same charge, but we name it as, because chlorine negative has negative charge, it goes to positive plate. The positive plate here we call it as anode. So we can say that at anode, Cl negative goes to Cl2, and at cathode, if I am taking Na plus, it will gain electron and discharge to Na solid, so which is solidified, and it will be discharged at cathode. So this is simple concept. Because this concept is for electrolytic cell, it is reverse of LON, which is reverse of electrochemicals. Now moving back to our concept, that is discharge potential. So why is it different from electrochemical series? Because we have some similarities, that is in electrochemical series we are calculating reduction potential, we are calculating reduction potential of that element or that electrode. Here also we are calculating the value in terms of voltage, but the difference is that the electrochemical series is, I'm writing here, if I have to write difference between electrochemical series and discharge potential, because both are potential values. So what is the difference? Electrochemical series is basically the concept which is theoretical. It is theoretical concept. But in discharge potential, we actually find that exact potential which is based on experimental data, experimental value. sometime the, we have seen that the value of potential which we use in electrochemical series doesn't cause the reaction to occur. We need extra potential to have a spontaneous reaction. So I'm writing this concept sometime. Why this is different from, why discharge potential is different from electrochemical series? Because some reaction which is feasible from electrochemical series takes too much time, or we can say that its chemical kinetics doesn't favor. So for that reaction to occur, we give more voltage. So what we have understood here? We have understood here in terms of experimental concept, we have to apply some more potential to proceed the reaction. So that is the concept of discharge potential, which is different from electrochemical series. But we can have assumption from electrochemical series. We uses the basic concept electrochemical series to predict discharge potential to some extent. And there can be more difference between electrochemical series and discharge potential, but this is the main concept, that experimental data is always different from theoretical concept. Theoretical concept just tells about if the element gains electron or lose electron, it will have that much amount of voltage. It doesn't take the consideration of other factors which we are going to discuss here. So what are these factors? These factors are, first factor is position in the electrochemical series. It is basic that if some element is on bottom of the electrochemical series, it has different activity. If some element is put on the top of the series, it has other activity. So I've marked here, ions are more likely to discharge if they are lower in electrochemical series. Second is, what we are saying here, that the elements which are present on the bottom, that is lithium, it will always wants to change in solid form. It basically gains electron to form solid. So for cation, those lower in series are discharged more easily. It is simple because they are more active, they wants to gain electron easily and change to solid. Similarly, if we have anions, then the anion at the top of the series will try to lose electron easily. So this is very simple. On electrochemical series, how our element is present, how the element is present, whether it is on the top of the table or it is on the bottom of the table, it causes the element to lose electron easily if it is at the bottom of the series. If element wants to gain electron, it should be at the top of the series. Now second factor is concentration of ion. So what is concentration of ion? This is very simple. If higher concentration of particular ion in the electrolyte increases the likelihood of its discharge. It is simple. If we have a higher number of ion, it can easily discharge because we have more ions. If two ions have similar ease of discharge, the one with higher concentration will more likely to be discharged, because in electrolysis concept we will see that in the solution we have other ion also. So if other ion have higher concentration, then it will try to get discharged, and its example is hydrolysis. Example is electrolysis of aqueous NaCl. In that case, we do not get Na and chlorine gas, because now we have water which is being dissociated into H plus ion, OH ion. So in 10th class we have studied that in electrolysis of brine solution we get chlorine, and we also get H2 gas, and we also have NaOH. So it depends on what is the concentration of ion present in the electrolytic solution. Now third factor which is also important, that is nature of electrode. So what type of electrode we are using, because electrode provide the surface. So some electrodes also are very active, like if we are using platinum graphite, they are not active. So if we have electrode which reacts like copper zinc, sometimes we use copper zinc electrode, so in that case copper and zinc also take part in reaction. So in that case the actual required potential to have change will change. That's why we are saying electrochemical series only tells about about the reactivity, but the discharge ability is explained by the discharge potential, which depends on these three factors. So this is our concept, that is discharge potential. Thank you so much.